You'll be cleared for access to him next time you're down at the spaceport. Talk to ship services. Now, if there wasn't anything else, I suggest you move out.
Скафандр авангарда. Ну-ка. Откуда у меня калиброванный скафандр созвездия, который еще и с такой хорошей броней? Совместная игра от разработчиков Warframe и Xenoblade. Просто сделает видео про эту игру. Когда-нибудь обязательно. Надо на Марс. Так, ну перед тем, как лететь на Марс, что там про модификаторы? У вас бедный киоск. Модификации для корабля. Жаловались на то, что монстры на словах очень страшные, на деле очень слабые. В основном из-за перекача. Да я на 10 уровне прилетела в локацию 10 уровня. Тут не может быть перекач. Монстр был красный. Не, ну конечно, это лучше, если бы он меня... Лучше его убить, чем если бы он меня с 2 ударов убивал. Но все же... Сделали бы несколько монстров. Было бы, кстати, намного лучше, если бы их там питон был на самом деле. Так, ладно. Где там ваш Марс?
Cycled air.
You are
That
entering
isn't the
United
same as the
Colony
real thing.
space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan complete. You're cleared to land. Careful near the railings on the upper levels. It's a long way down.
Так, чё, где там? В баре? В баре? Нет, не в баре. Нет, не в баре.
Take your time. We got lots of stuff. Just ask. Cool. That's what we do.
Ну чё, куда? Я на секунду подумал, что у него 500 аптечек. Думал, вот сейчас как куплю.
Sounds like a plan.
Продать.
Come back
У
anytime.
него деньги закончились.
Well, well, look what the Martian winds blew in.
О, здрасте.
Invoices can be collected from the... Oh. Not here for a delivery. Oh,
Октай. Мне сказали, что здесь работает человек по имени Уокер. Капитан Геральт Авангард, мне нужна помощь Персиваля Уокера в расследовании тревожного открытия.
do you now? Well, I do wish I could help you, Captain.
Да, шо ж
Dr.
такое-то?
Walker has been missing for some time. A shame, too. We had such high hopes for Percival. I brought him on myself to do medical and biological consulting around the city. Not the sort of work the Trade Authority traditionally does. But we thought it had the potential to become a whole new type of revenue stream for our branch. I invested no small amount of personal capital into the endeavor. But then he decided to run off after a discipline issue. I presume the miners have him hidden.
Актеры его где-то спрятали.
Plenty of cracks on this old rock. But at this point,
Актеры его где-то спрятали. Пойду разыщу.
that won't be necessary. The Trade Authority isn't interested in employing someone so unreliable. But we would like the money he owes us. If you can convince him to pay his debts, we'd be most grateful.
Oh, I loathe the Trade Authority. Is it absolutely necessary that we have to help them?
Посмотрю, что можно будет сделать. Где ты видела в последний раз?
Oh, I can't believe you're
А
helping.
я хочу...
What a
Да ты
stupid
дура,
waste
иди
of
в жопу.
time.
Я за него деньги заплачу.
I suggest paying a visit to the Sixth Circle, what I suppose is technically a bar on the lowest level of the city. If anyone knows where Percival is, the miscreants there would. But I would urge caution. They're not a group known for their hospitality.
I'm listening.
Я мог просто спрыгнуть вниз.
Spears upstairs. Go drown yourself there. This bar's for devil's vets and their kin.
Я в ангаре слышал, вы можете знать, где находится Персиваль Уокер.
Doc Walker? Well, you're barking up the wrong...
Andy, you. Why don't you come here and tell me what some Vanguard captain wants with Walker? Stray topsider wanders into my bar asking after a man like Percival Walker. Raises questions. What do you want with him?
По официальному делу. Делал доставку. Пироморфы могут угрожать галактике. Мне нужна помощь, чтобы их остановить.
What? Someone give him the keys to a cruiser? Look, you can make up whatever it is
Хороший
he
ответ.
wants. You should forget about Percival.
Да, тироморфы такие просто научились строить космические корабли, летают, наводят шороху. Здесь, может, жизни могут быть под угрозой. Где я могу его найти?
Stop. Even if I did know where he was, I'm not telling some stray I don't know from a... Huh. Maybe there is something you can do. Percival's got this debt put on him by the Trade Authority. You make that go away, prove you're a friend of him and the rest of us devils, and... well... I'm always inclined to help a friend.
Как бы вы предложили мне очистить его имя?
Well, most straightforward way to take care of this debt would be to just saunter up to the authority and pay him direct, if you've got credits to throw away. Of course, rumor is the Trade Authority keeps all their records and collections files on a central server inside their storeroom. If someone was to break in there and adjust Percival's debt to something a little more reasonable, say a few hundred credits, I'd be happy to cover the costs.
Making that adjustment would be illegal. I don't think this is a road we should travel.
Ладно.
And I look forward to hearing.
Пойдем просто заплатим.
Heard you talking with Lou, so you're going to help Dr. Walker?
Да.
Oh, good, good. Percival's a good guy. Listen, I know how you can do it without having to resort to any... B&E. Aqueous hematite. Mars is full of it. People think it's just garbage, but Percival and I, we've been working on some projects in the deep mines. At least when he wasn't slaving away at his Trade Authority contract. But we stumbled on a way to make it useful and profitable. You give our research over to Octai at the Trade Authority, it should more than cover Percival's debt. That guy's always looking for an angle.
Да, вот причина есть, по которой вы это еще не продали.
Well, yeah. We were never able to finish the research. Spacers moved in and ran us out. Started setting up shop.
Oh dear. I believe I see where this is leading.
But if you can clear them out, I can walk you through how to finish the research. Then you can give it over to the Trade Authority. They'll get folks working in the deep mines again. Jobs come back, I become a modern-day folk hero. Then I don't have to sleep on an inflated spacesuit anymore.
Ужасно много работы, чтобы не купить подушку, но, конечно, я помогу.
Great. So access to the deep mines can be found outside the city. It's not far. Shouldn't even need to hop back in your ship. We'd set up right near the main drill. Taking out the spacer leader should get the message across to the rest of them to buzz off. Once you've managed that, phone up here on the comms panel, and I can walk you through finishing the research.
Где тут ваши спейсеры? Блин, чё пугаешь? Куда я себя забросила? А, ёперный театр. Не в ту сторону. Тысячу метров. Увлекательный геймплей, игра продолжает раскрываться. В общем, давай на голову мне сядь, а? Snake Eater. What a breeze. Опасная солнечная радиация. Snake Eater.
Place ain't gonna like it. Oh, this baby obeyed.
Fire! Fire!
Как сказал Каргас, согласен даже на коня. Согласен даже на коня. Да, блять, на какую кнопку у меня ебучие гранаты? Баллад. Меня перестреляли. Да, пополз, блин. Кстати, а где напарница? Ну и фиг с ней. Куда она потерялась? А что, и все? И... Ну, еще один. Что уж у вас пердаки-то взрываются? Сара погрузилась. Окей. Чуть-чуть. На дно.
These access stairs lead deeper into the mines. I hope we remember the way back to the surface.
Ого. Вылезай. Ау. Недолет. Поджопник. Странно, конечно, он стреляет на расстоянии. Слишком хорошо на расстоянии стреляет. Так, ну что ты хотел? Оружие будущего. Супер меткое. О, фига. Шматок плутония. И сейф. А это, кстати, довольно сложный замок. Так, а нет, вот. Да, что такое? Да как так-то? Очень сложный. Замок слишком сложен. Закрыто. Ну куда так высоко? Еще больше на дно. Еще больше на дно. Ох, ядрить вас тут. Это стелс, все нормально. Ой, чей-то чубчик высовывается. Мне кажется, Сара опять меня кинула. Вот тут надо отдать должное, ассеты в игре сделаны отлично. Модельки. Художников, как обычно, жалко.
Oh, there you are. Never liked him anyway. Get here! Ah!
Фига они тут кушали. Себе. Так, нужно что-то похожее на сундук только лутать. Там еще глубже. Отлично. А выход я потом найду. Кстати, что-то похожее на сундук как раз. С каким-то пограничным нарядом. Развели тут говно.
One over here.
Куда побег? Пошли, дир мертв, сдавайтесь. Я куда-то на ощупь стреляю, блин. В район Хелсбара. Бля, вот. Не там. Так, большая какая шахта. Так. Кто тут выпендривался? Кто у вас тут главный был? Ядовитый законник. Электрическая винтовка. Винтовка. А, эпическая винтовка, простите. Ну, чтобы не поставить ее на шестерочку какую-нибудь. Что дает? Ну, вот такой винчестер, прикольно. Однозарядный, наверное, бухает сильно. Тут есть лифт. Что такое? Интерком.
Hello. Oh, took care of the spacers, huh? Good.
Здрасте.
Now to finish off the research, you're gonna need to collect a sample of hematite to run through the thresher. Grab a laser cutter and head back to the chamber where you came in. Once you've got a sample, Thresher's the big machine in the next room. Passcode to start it is Ares 2330. Take care of all that, and we'll have Percival's name cleared in no time.
А я пытался. У-у-у. Сюда. Вот так нормально мимо прошел. Замок слишком сложен. Так, он сказал, что-то возьми лазер. У меня есть резак. Но он же не резал. А теперь режет. Ладно. Алло.
You can take the elevator in that room back to the surface. There should be a key stashed in the thresher room if the spacers didn't make off with it. I'll be waiting at the circle.
Угу. Кашель, я заболел. Прекрасно. Это был тифозный шлем. Заразил меня чехоткой. Легкий повредил. Игра. За что? Надо поспать, а то скафандр износился. Уйди нафиг. Поспать не дают. Вот так, да.
It must be great to be able to see yourself ever
Нас тут тесно. Нам нужна компания побольше. Компания, нам нужен корабль, говорю, побольше.
You should inspect your ship for heat leak. Every couple landings, they'll cause plenty of havoc if nothing fixed.
Так, где меня будет пацан ждать? Там же внизу? Ага.
You've got the slate. Let me see. Reduced joint wear? Oh, increased lifting capacity. A dose of this stuff could make a miner way more efficient. This formula's gotta be worth at least as much as whatever Percival owes. Okay, so here's what you do. Tell Octai and the Trade Authority you found a business proposal that will make miners more efficient, higher yield, synergy, you know, all that business crap. And that you'll trade it to him for clearing Percival's debt. You good at doing pitches and stuff like that?
Что я могу продать лед холодному парню? Ладно, это не моя сильная сторона. В смысле? Нормально. Я все сделаю. Как раз убеждение продолжаем качать.
And here, a copy of the formula for yourself, in case you ever want to try maximizing your own industrial output. Oh, use that if you can. Good luck.
Какого хрена у меня кашель? Дополнительное повреждение легких. Так. Инфекция. Ушибов, ранений, проколов. Разрыв мышц. Ожог. Инфекции. У меня нет ничего, что лечит кашель. Грёбаное будущее. В будущем нет ничего, чтобы вылечило кашель. Выдохнул плохо. Блин, слишком реалистично. У тебя деньги восстановились? Нет. Не восстановились. Бедная торговая федерация. Деловое предложение прибыльное.
I'm never one to turn away an opportunity, but I'd be curious what you think you've uncovered in the Martian market that others have missed.
Pick me up. Превратите водный гепатит в жидкие кредиты с помощью моего запатентованного нового феномена. Имя из водного гематита. Называй его Pick Me Up.
Aqueous hematite, iron and wastewater. Well, I'm not surprised no one has proposed something like this before.
And exactly what does this new drug of yours do?
Повышает эффективность работы шахтеров. Есть данные, подтверждающие это.
An interesting proposal.
Странно, что нету этого.
If your data pans out.
Пишет.
But where's this hematite coming from?
Проверки на убеждение, странно, что нет.
The deep mines could be an option, but they're
Блин,
full of
протагонист.
spacers.
Не кашляй.
So I've heard.
Я уже их очистил.
Well now, that is intriguing. A completely untapped resource pool, and the sort of utility every mining firm in Sidonia would be clamoring to get their hands on. We could contract out all the actual lab work, bring on one of the hungrier mining concerns for materials, the licensing fees alone. And think what it would do for our image with the general populace. This mine, reopened, thanks to the Martian Trade Authority. Very interesting indeed. And what do you want for the rights to this drug?
Кредиты, куча кредитов. Хочу погасить долг Персиваля.
Dr. Walker's dead? That's it? Consider it wiped.
Well, it seems
считайте, его стерли. Доктора? Я говорю, кредит? Нет, доктора. Ассасины уже выехали.
Wouldn't want you feeling shortchanged down the road. We'll just be taking that slate before you have any second thoughts. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Captain.
Mast would like to join Sidonia in celebrating over 275 years of living on Mars. The United Colonies are proud to support the citizens of Sidonia.
Yeah?
Позаботился о долге Персиваля.
Did you now? Fine work. My end of the bargain.
Я уже забыл, зачем он нам был нужен.
He's holed up in the old Red
Там
Devil's HQ.
Терраморфы захватывают галактику.
But we snuck him in the back entrance through the deep mines. Was also going to warn you about spacers down there. But it sounds like you might have already tossed those dregs. Yeah, the passkey. And I'll let him know there's someone he owes one hell of a thank you on their way down.
Так, где ты там? Ну, у вас растение завяло. Это не растение завяло, это какие-то отходы, ладно. Персиваль, пошли искать Грааль. Чего? Он... Точно тут? Я ж только что отсюда пришел.
Exploring these mining operations has given me a new appreciation for the risks Dusties take to make a living.
У вас тут что, блин, шахты? Ёперный театр. Под всей планетой, что ли, шахты? Танкер, здоровище. Большое спасибо за фоллоу, ребят. Вы присутствуете новенького тентаклями и школьницами. То есть фактически этот ученый сидел буквально по соседству с этими пиратами. Вот так вот. Как думаешь, хочу поиграть в Starfield, но пока не тянет. Брать ради нее Xbox One? Нет. Я вообще в принципе никому не советую играть в Starfield. Это игра максимум, ну, бесплатно в геймпассе, да, нормально. Но покупать... Я ее, в принципе, покупать бы не советовал. А покупать ради нее Xbox One, ну, втройне бы не советовал. Оу, май. Ну ладно, это выглядит неплохо. И музычка так хорошо подобрана. Ладно, это был нормальный момент. Она настолько плохая. Знаешь, я бы не сказал, что она просто настолько плохая, я бы сказал, что она никакущая. В ней, ну, в принципе, интересно стрелять и сражаться. На корабле летать, в принципе, тоже интересно. Но вот все, что находится за гранью этого, ну, оно просто зачастую критики даже не выдерживает. Квесты довольно скучные. Тебя постоянно заставляют куда-то идти, что очень сильно выматывает. И даже как в старом добром Скайриме нет вот просто возможности забить на все и пойти кому-нибудь, в кого-нибудь пострелять. Вот в Скайриме, например, ты устал от квестов, думаешь, ну пойду какое-нибудь подземелье зачищу. Зачистил пару подземелий, отдохнул, такой, ну, можно продолжить с квестами. А тут такого нет, потому что из-за процедурной генерации ты не можешь даже со 100% вероятностью знать, что тебя ждет, когда находишь точку интереса. Это может быть какой-нибудь аванпост пиратов, если тебе повезет, но это может быть просто какой-то союзный аванпост, какие-то шахтеры, какой-то астероид, который можно копать, или просто ничего, пустая абсолютно пещера. Так что из-за процедурной генерации ходить и искать приключения просто так, как в Скайриме, вот не получается. Приходится ходить именно по квестам. А квесты тут такие средненькие. А, вот это ты.
explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts?
Блин, я опять уже забыл, зачем я искал Персиваль. Место подземелья, тут рандомные планеты, да. На рандомных планетах рандомные точки интереса. Доктор Уокер, у меня есть образец ткани, который нужно проанализировать. Полный анализ.
Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that? Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at?
Клетки тераморфа из мира. Слишком молодого, чтобы иметь его.
A fast-growing teramorph. That is concerning. Who exactly told you to bring this to me?
Понятно, я просто смотрел трейлер, там все красиво и прикольно. Тебя обманули. Не, ну, понимаешь, игры — это такая штука, в игры надо играть самому. Ты, когда сам поиграешь, ты поймешь, нравится тебе это или нет. Может, ты на самом деле найдешь для себя лучшую игру в мире. Тебе понравится бегать по пустым планетам в течение многих часов в попытках что-то найти.
Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Мне нужно посмотреть на камеры. Клетки, клетки. Ну и трейлеры — это все-таки такая штука всегда обманчивая. Надо, конечно, ничего не трогать. Я существую, чтобы лутать. О, ма. И патроны твои себе заберу. Они тебе тут ни к чему. Так, где ты там болтаешь? Иди уже.
Wait. Where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved.
У нее, кстати, глаза такие же, как у него. И она тоже была смугленькая. Она его дочь, что ли? Образец неподдельный, я его сам собрал с тераморфа.
Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst teramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian.
Да, звучит знакомо. Видел презентации.
Completely off the map by teramorphs. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large.
А что, вы боялись, что тераморфы угонят корабли?
The ones that did, well, they look just like this.
Сорвали космопорт, чтобы изолировать от галактики.
This specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive either. I don't think it was transported to Talseti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any teramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-teramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
It would be the end of us as a
Да ты откуда взялась вообще?
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now?
Еще бы из другой комнаты это прокричало. Приказано доставить вас этот анализ на Адриан. Она должна ждать в 6-м круге.
The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
В шестом круге. В шестом круге... Ты... Где? Это в баре? Ну, пошли в бар. Сходи туда, поговори, сходи сюда, поговори. Сколько? 1:45. Сколько раз постреляли? 1 раз. Такой, говорит, пострелял? Ну, хватит. Пришло время побегать. А, не, вру, в самом начале еще в тераморфа пострелял. Так что целых 2 раза пострелял. Так, это на лифт? На лифт. Значит, прыгаем вниз. Уи.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say...
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
Ну, сейчас выяснится, что это она там за всем стоит, это она выращивала и выпустила тераморфа. Дверь за нами закроем как-нибудь, нет?
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
Makes 2 of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble.
Да, вообще было... Это была не прогулка по парку, да, это... Ладно, немного больше выстрелов, чем обычно. Нравится при доставке, но ничего такого, с чем бы я не справился. Я бы предпочел еще больше выстрелов.
But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's going to take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on 2 conditions. 1, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And 2, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us.
Если вам нужен кто-то, кто сможет очаровать высшее руководство, это я.
Well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before you commit, I want to make sure you know the whole story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC Xeno warfare. a practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done.
Вообще-то я знаю, кто вы, ваше прошлое, это меня не касается. Все еще не объясняет, что эти данные о терраморфе делают в архиве.
Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it.
Я не в восторге от того, что вы скрываете от меня информацию, но думаю, я могу вам помочь.
That's all I'm asking. Thank you. Now I need to get this work up in the cabinet's hands. Once that's done, I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
What can I help you with?
На Новую Атланту теперь лети, ну конечно, да. Так, секунду. Так, у меня 2 очка есть навыков. Так, самки, это надо, да. И... Так, полетели. Показать на карте.
Painful memories or not, it's good to be home.
Captain, over here.
Как ты сюда добралась быстрее, чем я?
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War.
Я бы сказал, что ты этот... А доктор Персифаль тоже клон?
In Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program
Слишком похожи.
part of it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Меня больше интересует, какое отношение это имеет к нашему обращению в кабинет министров.
I'm getting there. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Так это, ну, вы не ваш отец, если кабинет министров этого не видит, это их проблема.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Да, чё, пофиг, да пофиг на тебя и на твоего отца.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Адриана дала понять, что решение этого вопроса требует крайней срочности.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
Мы пытаемся понять, с чем столкнулись. Без данных мы не можем принять обоснованное решение. Нам нужны данные архива, чтобы найти способ остановить возможный апокалипсис терраморфа. Меня, кстати, возможно, сейчас просто хотят использовать вот эти клоны. Девка, блин, и ее доктора. По-любому это все их рук дело. Она выпустила терраморфа. Сейчас начнет просто всем хочет отомстить за своего отца, клона убитого, казненного. А мою жопку используют. Ладно, нам нужны данные архива, чтобы найти способ остановить возможный апокалипсис.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
Он был какой-то особенный. Это первый терраморф, с которым я встречаюсь. Как я могу понять, особенный он, блин, или нет? Ну, втащил я ему с дробовика и все. Он уничтожил колонию, которая не ожидала его появления. Это очень тревожно. Я знаю только то, что мне сказали. Это тканевые маты из Лондиниона.
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Да, ну вообще-то нет, но я говорю еще раз, я предполагаю, что моей жопой хотят воспользоваться, чтобы получить доступ к оружию и выпустить этих терраморфов на всех. И мне интересно, куда это в итоге приведет. Потому что если бы по-хорошему, я бы сказал, что идиоты, спечатайте этот архив снова подальше. Если у нас есть шанс на то, что произошло на Тау-Цети, может произойти в другом месте, мы должны удовлетворить запрос. Лично я бы подождал, пока у нас недостаточно информации. Господин президент, на моем месте я бы не удовлетворил этот запрос. Просто так. Архив не запечатан просто так. Вот да. Я бы вот этот выбрал. Но мне интересно, да, куда это заведет у нас. Будет хоть какая-нибудь тут вариативность. Ну, не вариативность, а я имею в виду, куда это заведет.
I'm uncomfortable.
Да ты заебал!
Without gathering more information. However, if that's the path forward you prefer, then so be it.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
Well, I am not. I've heard nothing here to convince me that we should do anything but wait. And I will not risk galactic peace on a question of if.
Вообще-то он
fair assessment,
прав.
Chief Diplomat. So then, while the data you two have presented is compelling, I think we can safely say it's insufficient for the level of action you've requested.
Ну ладно.
Perhaps once we...
Это не я. О, блин, что тут происходит, обалдеть.
Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack.
Тут терраморфы. Кто же их принес, а, блядь? А ты задолбала не соглашаться с моими решениями.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the...
Кто их принес, блядь, с собой?
But do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Думаешь, я не догадываюсь, что это ты?
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with...
Я ваш инструмент, давайте, я убийца терраморфов, давайте, пускайте меня.
I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Они убегают.
The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please!
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Take him down. Stop. A new target. Damn, I was just getting warmed up.
Нелетальный бой. Ясно. А? Пипец какой живучий. Понятно. Гражданин. Ты можешь подвинуться, мужик? Ты мешаешь.
Thank you for what you
Вас
did.
просто ногами пинали.
We didn't want to hurt them. The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
Терраморфы и такое умеют?
No. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic
Berserk.
projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Если кто-то нападает, я его укладываю. Слушай, вы полагаете, терраморфы могут контролировать чей-то разум?
I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph.
Ясно.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Так, тогда мне это оружие надо... добавить в избранное, чтобы его не потерять. 7 пусть будет. Эх, в космопорте, народу было дофига.
Okay, it's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's
Oh god. It's everywhere.
Зарядись. Эй! Здорово, спасибо. Все ж хорошо было. Вообще-то я выстрелил. Тихо, тихо, тихо. А, пиздит под руку.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Поговорите с огневой группой. А где огневая группа? Слушай, огневая группа, оставайтесь здесь в безопасности.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
Да, оставайтесь тут.
Your call. We're on the line.
Мы разберемся, их там всего двое. Если двое их одновременно, они, конечно, жопу не отгрызут. Ри на меня. Блядь, что там сорвалось? Он отстреливается. Я танкую, девчата, давайте. Ты просто втащил его. Ты там не сдохни, смотри. Просто с приклада ему на... Я не могу. Ой. Молодец. Чё бомбануло? Давай просто в рукопашную его. Страшнейшее существо во вселенной. Ага. Ага.
Target down. Nice work,
Да
Captain.
поприседать на нем. Саре Морган это понравилось. Она любит, когда я кого-то тибэгаю, правильно?
City, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Хороший в целом квест. Изменение локации. Неожиданная атака. Да, нормально, нормально. Как дела?
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
Вы все держали оборону, вы здесь герои, а не мы.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Причем, когда я вернусь обратно, когда снова вернусь в космопорт, он уже будет полностью вычищенный, отстроенный и полный людей. United Colonies. Шо, как дела?
Let your people all know how much, Captain. Hadrian, it would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Спасибо. Мы будем благодарны в кредитах, недвижимости или предметах роскоши.
I had some ideas on that front, Captain, but we'll get
Я не удержался. Слишком хорошо.
After today's events, the cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be supporting your collection of the Terramorph data from the archives.
Хороший вариант был.
As well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Я не могу быть вашим представителем. Я просто какое-то ничтожество из авангарда. Вы уверены, что это самый разумный вариант действий?
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. Get you access to those credits and real estate you're after. So, will you help us?
Рассчитывайте на меня.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
И разошлись. Быстро.
We're going to get to the bottom of what happened at the spaceport.
Так, с кем я тут поговорить должен?
Hey.
Yes?
These orders can't be. Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice archives ASAP. So, we've got no time to waste. You know what the archives are, correct?
Хранилище всех запрещенных данных по войне с колониями?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Нет проблем, мне понадобятся электроды, зубочистка и пенотал натрия. Можно подумать, что после нападения на космопорт они будут вызывать о помощи.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate. And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative. But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
Они все здесь находятся? Ну, по порядку.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her. Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support. And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Другие инструменты?
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Report suggests there's a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for intel. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Все необходимые мне на данный момент информация.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
Balmor?
Ambassador Balmor's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmor stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Да, он довольно многообещающим.
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmor is actually still alive.
Замечательно.
His public appearances were always rare, but it's
Замечательный
been several
поворот.
years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting. Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
Ладно.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there. Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Окей. Хорошо, хоть лететь не надо никуда. Хорошо, что все послы, похоже, здесь.
You our visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective, but you lead, and I'll follow.
that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
This building is Freestar sovereign territory.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what?
Здрасте.
You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky. And like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier.
Вам действительно повезло, там была зона боевых действий.
Well, then you have my earnest thanks. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personally, even if she does have trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her.
Мы знаем о ваших способностях, мистер Лонг. Именно поэтому ОК прислали меня поговорить с вами. Да. Нам могли бы сделать больше, гораздо больше, например, работать со мной.
You want to work with
Я не знаю.
Why don't we talk somewhere a bit more private?
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
Если я Геральт Авангард, окей. Нам с вами нужно поговорить, посол. А вы выглядите как женщина, которая хочет остановить новые атаки терраморфа. Что ж, у меня есть для вас предложение.
What are you? You're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did.
Очевидец.
Truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
Нет, они послали меня умолять. Прошу, очень прошу. Вы должны помочь нам, иначе все новые смерти будут на вашей совести.
Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain.
The only threats you're facing are the 8-legged variety just outside your door. Now can we please stop playing games here? Lives hang in the balance.
A lecture in morality from the UC. How quaint and short-sighted. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go?
Переубедить. Послушайте, что я хочу сказать.
You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood.
Я поясню другим способом. Спасибо, посол, выслушай меня.
I'm listening.
Вы готовы рисковать новыми смертями? Именно это вы делаете, не помогая нам.
Preventing more deaths is precisely what I'm trying to do by keeping the archives sealed. There's a lot of scared people out there right now, and I could do something about it.
Сколькими жизнями вы готовы здесь рискнуть, потому что у вас есть неприязнь к окей?
It's possible I might be letting my history cloud my judgment. Possibly.
Вашего решения могут зависеть. Вы были солдатом, ваша работа заключается в том, чтобы защищать именно это. Мы намерены сделать с помощью этих данных. Ты чё, охуела?
It's why I'm even entertaining what you're suggesting right now. Captain, I'm sorry.
Там был беспроигрышный вариант, алло.
I'm sorry. Do you have an... Ah, you're the one, Mac. You have my thanks. Now, she also... That now the UC... I can only presume you're... Let me be frank. I will not be the... You're really gonna push this? I'm listening. I suppose you might be right. Easy to lose sight of the big pictures. I suppose you're right. No one does, Captain.
Критический успех.
The question is how to do it. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once. You get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement?
Нужно поговорить с помощником шлифа. Да я нормально.
Excellent. Follow me.
Я молодец. Я уболтал.
Sounds like it was a real mess down there.
Та-та.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess.
А, вот теперь мне нужен код Варуна. А, это воровство тут. Сорян, сорян. Ничего не трогаю. Что-то у вас тут засрано.
what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy.
Вот защита текущего пользователя. Отлично. Турели защищают меня. Сломать очень сложные замки. Теперь я могу пытаться взламывать очень сложные замки. Отлично. Наконец-то.
I've never seen a tree like this before in my entire life. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't blocking our way.
Мы, кажись, что-то вдохнули не то. Внезапный хоррор начался. Ну, хоть турели на моей стороне.
Don't leave any of that behind. Патрончики. Did you hear that?
Чуть жопу не отгрызли. Я думал, турели на моей стороне. Похоже, Не все и не везде. Мама. Бля. Пяточку отстрелили. Тьфу, блин.
I must be hearing things.
Недоступно. То есть мы вентиляцию включили. О, средство от кашля.
You have anything valuable?
Кто, блин, отстреливается? Блядь! Балат, они прыгают. Я смотрю, баллистическое оружие плохо берет роботов, что логично. Даже уютно становится.
Running a bypass? Be careful.
Вот только я все уже уничтожил. Тут посольство побольше будет. Сара, давай мочи их. Незнакомец тут что-то кто-то живой. Аптечка, отлично. Реально живой.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss.
Сдлутаю, приду. Лутать, похоже, нечего. Как дела?
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly?
Космопорт в плохом состоянии, больше ничего не пострадало.
Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, hmm? And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information then. On terror morphs, presumably, hmm? Do I see this all clearly?
Правильно, мы собираемся использовать данные архива, чтобы лучше понять и остановить эти атаки.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. You must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
Даю слово.
As the chair of Constellation, I take personal responsibility in vouching for this man's integrity. He'll keep his word.
Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
We should have a talk, when you have the time, of course.
Он сидел тут в дартс играл.
Let's hope it still works. And there. Let it be used for good.
Нормально, у него тут были все удобства. Чего? Мужик, мне по-любому тут надо выйти. У тебя ключ-карта есть?
The great serpent guide your path.
Колода карт. Странно. Ну ладно. Можем ли мы телепортироваться? Да, можем. Странно меня посылают.
Here on Vanguard business?
Так.
Captain, you're
Да,
back
вообще
sooner
изи.
than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement.
Да. Кодовые части Дома Ворон Содружества собраны и готовы к развертыванию.
So the old man was still lurking around in there. Fine work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Keeping the skies safe out there?
Напротив вестибюля. Высоковато. Здравствуйте. Я скажу, говорит, вам надо ставить вот одно удостоверение сюда, другое удостоверение туда. Это надо сделать одному человеку одновременно. Не можете, ну идите нахрен. И оперный театр. А чё? Куда? Как? А где? Блядь. А в какой? А в куда? Так, ладно. Во все три. За вороном вообще, блин, никто не следит, всем посрать. И такие, похуй вообще. Вот архив. Так. И куда дальше? Возврат данных. В ложу? Ладно. Да нет. Меня обманули. Может, к президенту надо было? К заместителю надо было вернуться, ясно.
Captain, Deputy told me what went down.
Я тебе не доверяю.
Impressive, Captain. If you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next.
Я деду в подвале обещал, что это будет использовано для добра.
Time for us to start getting some real answers and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready.
Я дал кое-кому обещание. Может ли вы заверить мне, что данные будут использованы во благо?
Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right. So with the data out
Как
of the way,
странно
we've
ты
been
это
discussing
сформулировала,
where exactly
подозрительно.
this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
Куда делась?
Remember our last conversation when you told me the artifacts made you feel like raw energy was coursing through your veins? Well, it got me thinking. So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor.
Никогда раньше не упоминали предшественника.
Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back.
Эйджи, должно быть, была удивительным человеком.
She absolutely was. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege.
Новичок в паре с председателем звучит ужасно знакомо.
Hey, so I pinched a few ideas from my old boss. Can you blame me? At any rate, we logged quite a few discoveries together, but it was the actual journey that I cherished the most.
Могу отнестись к этому с пониманием.
Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone.
Вот что я заметил. Я претендую на вашу должность.
Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly.
Вы были влюблены друг в друга?
I respected her, and I considered her a dear friend, but we weren't in love. Had that been true, I would have resigned my post and moved to Parima 2 instead of remaining at Constellation. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions.
Сделать возможно, чтобы наши путешествия были такими же приятными.
Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. Just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger to discover what's out there. And that, well, that's what intrigues me about you.
Флиртовать не рано пока флиртовать. Вы меня точно раскусили.
Good. Then we're both on the same page. Anyway, that's all I had to discuss for now, so if you'd point the way, we can continue our journey.
Теперь она просит, чтобы я там куда-то слетал. Вместе с ней, понятно. Ара? Мы вашу мать... Вашу ж мать.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies?
А почему я должен хотеть?
Well, only citizens can own property in New Atlantis. We also pay a discounted rate at any United Colonies merchant. And all citizens receive an ample credit disbursement upon joining.
Уговорили. Можете приступать.
Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen?
Обязательно.
Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms?
Конечно.
Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
7-я сабсекция. О, нормально так. Все прям в одном здании, какое удобство.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets.
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
I'll be fine. You go on ahead.
Это типа тюрьма? Ну да, похоже, какой-то местный Ганнибал Лектор.
President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
Ты тот генерал, которого типа казнили? Парень, который не мог позволить себе жилье с видом, очевидно. Ага, я угадал.
But the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here, a sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies.
Боже мой, окей, все это время лгала. Один из самых болтливых призраков, которых я встречал, за исключением того, чего вы хотите на самом деле.
Has she shared with you the nature of our Little family.
Да. Да, она твой клон.
Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do.
Ладно, я слушаю.
After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the colony war. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with.
Продолжение следует. Выкладывай давай.
Gladly. There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know.
Как насчет того, чтобы его арестовать и передать в полицию?
You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it.
Не собираюсь никого убивать, но если он действительно так плох, как вы утверждаете, я подумаю о том, чтобы привлечь его к ответственности.
If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There's a star station in the vicinity, the Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Окей, окей. Фига у него тут хоромы. Аж с 3 дверями.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
Ну что ж, ладно, это было неплохо.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy.
Я не был к этому готов.
Surprised me too when I learned it. But the prisoner has proven useful over the years and kept far from any major decision-making. But I do think it's worth re-emphasizing. No one else can know about this. all right?
Ты не можешь запретить мне рассказать об этом Адриану.
Short of jailing you? No, you're right. But in this moment, I think it would be a big mistake to tell her. Though I presume he didn't call you down there simply to discuss his daughter.
Просил меня разобраться с доктором Морлсом. Подумал, с вами стоит об этом поговорить. Я стану киллером, ей! Такой.
Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question. But bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC. What's being offered in return?
Местонахождение старых членов исследовательской группы Адриана.
Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding the meeting?
Больше обсуждать ничего.
Then I'll bid you good day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
Вот такие дела. Надо на этом заканчивать будет.
Greetings, citizen. Welcome to the UC.
Кстати, это где? Это в соседней системе Волк. Человек человеку Волк. Так, всем большое спасибо за сегодня, большое спасибо всем, кто нас смотрел, большое спасибо всем, кто был активен в чате, вы клевые. Увидимся завтра на новостях и аниме-стриме. Как говорится, сенсейка.